Good morning. Here's your help quiz for 1.2, solving two-step equations. I'm going to click on that. Here are some videos to help you. I'd encourage you to watch them. Here's the link to the quiz, and let's start. Solve the equation x minus 14 is equal to negative 4. Now, this one actually is a one-step equation. I put it in here for review. So let's just see if you still remember from the previous quiz. X minus 14 is equal to negative 4. So the first thing you need to do is remember you can do anything you want as long as it's to both sides of the equal sign. So anything you want. So what do you want to do? That's the real question of algebra. What is it that you would choose to do? Well, you'd like to do something that gets the x by itself because that's how your answer is going to be. X is equal to stuff. So to get the x by itself, you want to get rid of this minus 14. So to do that, you're going to add 14 to both sides. Now, you could have chosen to add 20 or divide by 6, or you could literally choose anything. The problem with any of those other choices is you make the problem harder instead of easier. X is equal to 10. Whoops, that's supposed to be a 10. There we go. So just for a moment, let's think about what if you made the wrong choice? Wrong choice. What if you looked at this problem and you did like many students that I've worked with? What if you instead added 4? Okay, let's do that. Now, what some of them do is they then say this cancels out. Nope. Minus 4 plus 4 doesn't cancel out. That's ridiculous. That's not true. So minus 14 plus 4 is minus 10 if you check it on a calculator. It's actually this part over here that cancels out. That's the part that goes to 0. And so that part is equal to 0. Well, let's make that a better 0. Okay, so you could add 4 to both sides. Notice it didn't get you the answer, but it got you a different problem. And now we still have to add 10 over here to really finish it off. And so now we have x is equal to 10. And you can see that the answer is the same both ways. Let's type in a 10, hit enter, turns green, and let's go to the next one. All right, this one is a true two-step equation. And two-step just means we have to do what we just did. We just have to do 2 steps instead of 1. So let's start. We have 9x minus 4 is equal to 41. So this says 9 times my secret number, and then if you subtract 4, is equal to 41. Well, I can't just look at it and say, oh, the answer is 3, or I don't know. So let's figure it out. So you could choose to move the 9 first, or you could choose to move the minus 4 first. I would recommend to you that you start with the adding and subtracting first. You could start with the 9, but if you do, you're going to make fractions. So let's start with the adding and subtracting first. So to do that, we're going to add 4 to both sides. Let's do that. Let's add 4 to both sides. And that leaves us with 9x is equal to 45. And so x is equal to, well, here we're going to have to divide by 9 and divide by 9 because that's the opposite of multiply. And 9 goes into 45 5 times. Okay, let's go back to the original problem and let's imagine that we did it a different way. What if we said on this original problem, 9x minus 4 is equal to 41? What if instead we had taken this very same problem and you had started with divide by 9? Notice that you have to divide by 9 on every single number. You can't, every single chunk here, every single term, we call them in math. You can't just divide by 9 once on each side. You're dividing the entire problem by 9, everything in the problem by 9. So this cancels out, that's fine, turns into 1. So you have x minus 4 over 9 is equal to 41 over 9. Now, I got to tell you already, I don't like this problem as well as the one we just did. It's the same one, you just made it harder. I made it harder. So now let's add 4/9 to both sides. So that gets rid of that. And so x is equal to 45 over 9. And we already figured out what 45 over 9 is. We did that over here. 45 over 9 is equal to 5. So both sides got you to the correct answer. But if I have to choose, I would much prefer the left side to the right side. I wonder if there's a way I can erase. Ooh, wipe screen. Ah, I just learned something. So I would just definitely say, please do the add and subtract first, and then do the multiply and divide. Let's do a couple more examples here. Minus 28 is equal to 5x, that's supposed to be a 5, minus 8. Okay, so what do I choose to do? Well, some people would say add 28 first. I wouldn't, because that's a number all by itself. It's not the one next to the x. These are the ones next to the x. So let's move these guys. Let's do plus 8. So 8 minus 8 goes to 0. 28 minus 8, or sorry, negative 28 plus 8, I should say. Negative 28 plus 8 becomes negative 20 is equal to, oh, man, I'm struggling. Okay, let's write this again. Is equal to 5x. Then we are going to divide by 5 and divide by 5. So x is equal to negative 4. And there we go. Let's see. Bam. Okay, let's try some other ones. Let's wipe the screen off here. Oh, this works the same way. Oh, this one says enter as a whole number or a fraction. So that's a clue that it may come out to be a fraction. Let's see if that's true. Minus 5x minus 8 is equal to 2. So first thing we're going to do is add 8 to both sides. And so we have minus 5x is equal to 10. And then we're going to divide by negative 5 and divide. Oh, this one didn't come out to a fraction. Yours might. It might come out to a fraction. So in other words, if this part comes out to something that doesn't simplify well, that might just be your answer. Mine came out real nice. Mine came out to negative 2. Uh, so do your best on that. If you can't figure it out, contact me. We'll help you. Let's take a look at this one. Here we have x over negative 9 is not equal. It says minus 8 is equal to 3. So if it were me, I would add 8 first on both sides. So those go to 0, and that gives you x over negative 9 is equal to 11. And then you would multiply by negative 9 on both sides. It's hard to write with a mouse. Okay, and x is equal to negative 99 in this case. Woo. Okay, let's see if there's any hard ones here. All right, so this one's going to freak people out. Please don't let it freak you out. You should just use a calculator. What I mean is, think about your steps. What would you do first? You would subtract this one from both sides. So you'd put this number in your calculator, you'd subtract this one, because that's what you do. And then the next thing you would do is you'd take your answer and you would divide by whatever's next to the t. Okay, and if you can't figure that one out, it's only one question. Doesn't mean you're bad at math, doesn't mean you should quit school, doesn't mean you should get all frustrated. It's just one question. So try it, see if you can get it. There's some videos linked here. You can watch the videos. They're specifically on questions like this. So just try it. It's meant to be a little bit of a challenge, and see if you can do it. This one is going to be a fraction. So when this one says write it in fraction form and reduce it, just do your best. If you can't figure it out, so your answer is probably going to be a fraction like 2/3 or something, I don't know, something, some kind of a fraction. Do not make it into a decimal. If you put it as a decimal, it'll mark it wrong. So just keep that in mind. Contact me if you can't figure it out, and I will help you. And this one, again, it's got a video here. First big clue I would mention to you is right here. What does minus a -2 mean? Or subtract a -2? Or the opposite of -2? Or the opposite of subtract 2? Like, all of that just means plus, right? So if we write this out, isn't this really just -8 plus 2? And so doesn't that mean -8 plus 2? Doesn't that mean -6? And so then you would multiply it by -10, multiply it by -10. So those cancel out, and you would get 60. Wow, my hand's getting tired of writing with the mouse. Sorry about that. And so we get 60. Cool. I'm going to leave you to it. Please watch the little videos attached. Please contact me, and we'll get you there.